If you've watched more than 3 videos about retiring in the Philippines, I'm sure you've heard the advice to start in Cebu City for a soft landing. But they're probably not telling you everything, because I'm in Cebu City and it's not quite what I expected. Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Ryan, and I'm in the Philippines right now doing a tour of 8 different cities, trying to find the best place to live for me as a solo man recently retired. So I'm taking all 8 cities through the same criteria. As you can see, we've got overall cost and lifestyle, infrastructure like the roads, the internet, the power, that type of thing, and then modern conveniences, because everyone wants those, but sometimes that comes with a price. Walkability and outdoor recreation, healthcare access, beach and nature proximity, which is really important to me, and then the overall vibe of what the city feels like, and then overall value. Would I move here? That's sort of a gut check, subjective thing about would I live here? So I'm using the 8 criteria on all of these, so I have a consistent rating across the board. I'm going to do it for all of the cities. But be aware, I am not a travel vlogger. I'm not trying to sell you on the Philippines. I am trying to find the best place to live for me personally. And if you are a solo male wanting to retire, thinking about retiring overseas, I want this series to be an honest evaluation of where you might want to retire to. All right, so Cebu City. There's something about Cebu City that you need to know. And I'm going to tell you what it is in just a moment. But once you see it everywhere, and it does factor into all the criteria that I'm about to rate. All right, let's run through the criteria, starting with cost. I'm going to go ahead and give Cebu City 3 stars out of 5 on cost, mostly because of variety. You can find the full range of apartments, houses, everything here, as low as $100 a month, all the way up to $2,000 a month. So with that variety, you can definitely find something that's within your budget. The question is it a good value? Well, perhaps if you're patient and you strike a deal and you look hard and you don't jump on the first thing that you find, you could probably find a place, a condo that has all the amenities like a swimming pool, a gym, security, perhaps parking might be included in that. So you can do very well. So 3 stars, I think, is very fair for Cebu City, just out of sheer variety. But the trade-off, of course, if you're in a high-rise building or a condo, there's going to be some noise, maybe thin walls. You might hear your neighbors, smell their food. That's just one of those trade-offs that you're going to have to live with. But I think 3 stars is pretty fair, and you can do pretty well in Cebu City. Now, the next one, of course, is healthcare access, which for me, as an older guy with the atrial fibrillation, being able to get to a good hospital, a modern one with all the right equipment, with English-speaking doctors, and to get there quickly is pretty important. So I think that's where Cebu City really shines. So if you have any kind of health issues or you just need to prioritize quality medical care, Cebu City has 5 or 6 major hospitals with English-speaking, Western-trained doctors in many cases, and a ton of small clinics like 24/7 healthcare clinics where you can go in and get rapid tests done, blood work, infections or scrapes, anything along those lines you can get addressed very cheaply and quickly throughout the city. So I think that's where Cebu City really stands above any province area or any smaller town, is in the healthcare. So yay, Cebu City for doing that pretty well. The next one is infrastructure. Yeah, this is where I'm going to start to tear into the city a little bit. 2 stars on infrastructure. Without ranting for too long, terrible infrastructure. For a major city, it is built organically with, it seems like, no zoning or poor zoning laws, almost no planning. They will build new high rises and really whole IT park, business park, these modern big bubbles, but they don't connect them to the rest of the city in any way that makes sense. For example, there's an intersection right at the entrance to IT Park. It's a 3-way intersection, extremely heavily traveled. They put in a traffic light and it only blinks red. So it's a 3-way stop and there's no order to it and there's no traffic cop there to bring any order to it. It really is a pure gridlocked battlefield with tens of thousands of motorbikes trying to get through, jeepneys, buses, regular cars, and pedestrians. It's just nuts. Power is good. I'll mention that. Very few brownouts. I've only had 2 in the month that I've been here, and they only lasted for a couple of seconds. So if you've heard about brownouts, they can be an issue throughout the Philippines, but not so much in Cebu City. So good for that. But traffic is just chaos. The sidewalks in the bubbles are okay, but even there, trees and poles and obstructions in the middle of the road, and motorbikes and food carts tend to block the sidewalks. And then as soon as you go outside of the bubble, it is 100 times worse. Pretty much unwalkable, broken up sidewalks, puddles everywhere, power lines down and big coils of wire right in the middle of the sidewalk. So you have to walk around it. It's literally an obstacle course left and right as far as being able to proceed forward. You have to go around a million things. And if you look at the level of the sidewalk, it's just broken and busted up, holes everywhere with open sewers and open drainage covered by these little cement plates. But to allow the water to get down through the cement into the channel, they have to have holes, and those holes get broken up. And so you can put your foot into a hole. There's millions of holes. So you really have to focus your eyes on the sidewalk. It's just wild. So I gotta say, for a big, modern, bustling, successful city, the infrastructure in Cebu is terrible. I'm giving it 2 stars. 1 might actually be a more honest score. When it comes to proximity to beaches and nature, Cebu City is pretty good on this one. I'm going to give it 3 stars for its overall proximity. Now, it's not that there's great places to visit right in the heart of the city, but you can hop on a bus or get a car or ferry ride to a nearby island and get to nature. Mountains, waterfalls, beaches, snorkeling spots, hiking spots. You know, Cebu is well situated between a mountain range and the ocean, of course. So it's a hub, let's put it that way. It's a good hub, a jumping off spot. If you're willing to do a day trip or a weekend trip, you can get to a wide variety of nature and beaches, but you're not going to be able to do that in an hour or 2. So 3 stars, maybe. Yeah, I'll go 3 stars for proximity to recreational options. Okay, modern conveniences versus traffic and the things that come with that. I've already hinted at the difficulties, more than hinted, at getting around, and it's definitely true if you're in a car. So yes, there are big shopping malls. Yes, there are specialty stores. You can get almost anything that you need in Cebu City, probably within a mile or 2. At good prices, and people in the stores are friendly and very helpful. So in that sense, it's great. And as far as modern conveniences, there's Wi-Fi in many public places, particularly the malls. Small range on those. Like if you get Wi-Fi at Starbucks, you got to stay near the Starbucks. But oftentimes the mall itself will have public Wi-Fi, but it goes up and down, and sometimes reception's really bad. So that can be pretty spotty. But I always say that's a good modern convenience. But the downside is, of course, you're dealing with traffic to go anywhere, and that's slow going because Cebu is often gridlocked. Rush hour tends to last for about 5 hours. So say from 3 to 8 p.m., it's going to be pretty heavy. And there's so many motorbikes that's not even that much faster option. Normally on a motorbike, you can zip around obstacles and cars and traffic, but there's so many motorbikes, you're kind of blocked in by those. So I'm going to give it 2 stars for modern conveniences because of the busyness, the chaos, the congestion, the heavy traffic that goes with it that makes accessing those modern conveniences a little bit challenging. Now for the overall vibe, I'm going to give Cebu only 2 stars. It's a big city. It's got everything you need. It's modern by Philippine standards, but by Western standards, because of the infrastructure issues that I mentioned, it just doesn't make it a livable city. Not for me anyway. So the overall vibe for a person who wants variety, you do get the modern city. But I don't think there's enough benefit to that to make the chaos and the congestion and the noise and the smells and the litter and the open sewers, and I just don't think there's a balance there. Normally, if you're going to live in a big city, Manhattan, or even Manila or Tokyo or any big city in the world, there's pros and cons, and hopefully the pros outweigh the cons a little bit, and that's why most people gravitate towards big cities. But for people who want to retire early and enjoy a chill lifestyle, relax, where you're not in the rat race, Cebu City is going to make you feel like you're kind of in the rat race. Anywhere you walk, you're going to be competing for sidewalk space and competing with the cars. And it really does feel like an obstacle course. And if the weather were fantastic, that might be one thing, but it's pretty hot and it's pretty humid. And when you're dodging people, cars, and puddles, and stray dogs, and panhandlers, and extreme poverty with litter everywhere, you can kind of see where I'm going with that. So the vibe is only a 2 star out of 4, or I'm sorry, out of 5 for me. The next criteria is walking and exercise, recreation in the city itself. I'm going with 1 star on this one. It might be 2 stars within the bubble, but 0 stars outside the bubbles because you don't have any bike lanes. You can't really walk or run without taking your life in your own hands. And there's no real parks or green spaces. There is some in the malls, but you can walk a mall, I suppose, and get your steps in. But when you go outside and you want some greenery to exercise in, maybe some exercise equipment, there just isn't any. There's one green space in IT Park, but it's not really a green space. It's more like a field where the grass is all dead, a couple of big trees and a couple of big benches, but no exercise equipment. And the sidewalks are actually just cement blocks with big gaps and spaces between them where it's just dirt. It's like stepping stone to stepping stone. And you really have to watch the ground to make sure you don't turn an ankle or something stepping off the edge of a block. So really terrible planning in that regard. And there's also some strange things where like a modern shopping center is built next to a major pedestrian thoroughfare, but they didn't connect the sidewalk to the steps that lead up into the shopping center. They'll leave like 15 or 20 feet of dirt and tree roots that you have to make your way through just to get to these brand new steps that go up into a shopping center. So I think 1 star out of 5 is probably appropriate for just the ability to go outside and get your fitness on. Now let's talk about overall value. This is the summation. I don't think it's there. I don't think the trade-off is there for Cebu City. Yes, you're going to get great healthcare and wonderful people and the ability to buy whatever you need in malls and access to some nature. But for all of those downsides that I mentioned, there's just too many cons and just not enough pros. So overall value, I'm going to give 2 out of 5 stars. So when you add all of that up, I think we're looking at 20 out of the 40 possible stars because it's 5 stars times 8 categories. So a high potential score of 40. Cebu City, I'm giving it a 20. And if I'm spending my full $1,600, $1,500 a month budget, I might have a small but nice condo, but I'm going to be dealing with so many headaches. It's just not a lifestyle that I would want. So I've scratched Cebu City off of my list of potential places to retire. Now, there are some other options nearby, and I'm about to visit some of those that I think will score significantly higher, but it just doesn't feel to me like Cebu City is a soft landing that other YouTubers talk about. To me, it's kind of a harsh landing that takes some getting used to. It's hot, noisy, a little smelly, difficult to get around, and not enough modern conveniences to offset all of that. So that's my take on it. If you live here or you visited here or you feel differently, man, I'd love to hear from you. Tell me how you think I got it right or wrong, especially if you think I got it wrong. I'm all ears. Or maybe I'm just not visiting the right places, but I have been here in IT Park for a month. I've walked in the areas outside. I've gone into the barangays and explored those a little bit, and I've taken grab rides around the town to different portions, but I'm just not seeing a neighborhood that to me feels like home that I'd be willing to live in. So if you found that place, I'd like to know about it. Share this with anyone who's considering coming to Cebu City to give them an honest take on the whole situation. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video where I cover the livability of Panglao using the same criteria, and then on to Dumaguete. We'll see how many stars out of 40 that Dumaguete gets. All right, take care. So long.